What's going on, y'all? It's your boy 1080G. This is the Unfocused and Focused podcast. We are back once again. Got the boy Tastro in the building.
What up, what up, what up?
Yes, sir, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling excelente, man. Excelente.
That's what I like to hear, man, because I don't know, it's rough out here, man. It's not a lot of people feeling excelente. I'm feeling excelente. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm feeling good too. But yeah, you know how we get started on the Money Making Monday. So you started the week off strong on a high note. It sound like.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you know, every day I feel like life is all about progression, and so every
True.
time I get to a Monday, I feel progressive. Shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that didn't make it to this day.
True. So tell me how you how you got your week started off so strong, and that how you got these vibes up and you know this energy up so high so quick in the week.
I mean, man, like just positive affirmations, man. Like I listen to this cat named Earl Nightingale like every morning, as far as like remembering we become what we think about. And so that just keeps me a constant reminder that, yo, we are what we think about. So if I think positive thoughts, that's going to resonate with my life, like no matter what. If I have negative thoughts, that's going to resonate with my life no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a constant reminder of just thinking positive thoughts. So that right there honestly keeps me going because I listen to it every single day to remind myself of having to stay positive no matter what.
Word.
Makes a big difference too, man, for real.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice. You can literally start your week off and decide how you want to go about your week. You could start off and, you know, you could say, man, it's Monday. I got to do this again.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be a stressful week.
It's going to be a drag. Exactly, yeah.
But when you wake up, you know, I remember, what episode was that? That was, we had a previous guest and it kind of stuck with me. Just the words, you know, when you just decide that you want to have a mood or you want to, whatever you want to do, it's a choice. You know, happiness is a choice.
Right.
Positive energy is something that you can control. Right. You know, it's like you can walk into your job, you could walk into any room and say, I'm going to command this room. You know, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get a good contact. You know, however you want to work it.
Right.
It's all up to you. But
absolutely,
so many people just, I don't know, they just be out here all willy-nilly just thinking that it's like they waiting for the positive energy. It's like they waiting for, you know, like people say, like, I'm going to just give it to God or Jesus take the wheel.
Right.
It's like, nah, you got to take the wheel.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I'm saying? You got to take that control. And I don't know, when I start the weeks off, I'm like, yo, I'm going to knock out this week. I'm going to bang it out. I'm going to get new opportunities. I'm going to make progress in some way. Maybe it's not going to be in the way that I would, you know, maybe I think everybody would want to just start off the week with an extra 10 racks in a bank account. But I'm going to make progress in some way.
Man, life is all about progression. So no matter what that progression is, you'll be all right, man. Like
it's like
you're striving for it.
Exactly,
on a regular basis.
Exactly. It's just like one of my favorite quotes right now with my man Denzel. He's like, man, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Right. I remember he said that. Yeah.
You know, so
for real.
Every week I go into, I'm leaving with something.
For real.
Yeah, you can't be the same you was last week. That don't make no sense.
Shout out to Bars.
Shout out to Bars. We got Bars in the building.
First of all, who said that? Who said that positivity is a choice? Who said that?
I'm sure Bars said it at some point. That was Bars. Oh, okay, my bad. Bars dropping bars as usual.
It was me.
Anytime I got a bar on my head, I'ma just give it to Bars.
Just give it to Bars, man.
We can always use it.
I'm like, where did I get this quote from? I'ma just by default.
Nah, because Bars be giving like these inspirational like speeches in the morning. She sends a text every morning with positive information every morning. Something different, but it's all positive nonetheless. So shout out to Bars, man.
Yeah, shout out to Bars working the cameras.
She a G too, man. She a G too. I ain't gonna get too much in detail on that, but she knows. She knows how she's a G.
That's shout out to Chicago. Bars, that's Chicago.
That's that Chi-Town shit, yo.
Chi-Town, Windy City.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to bars.
Fuck around and find out if you want to.
It's bars, a.k.a. fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
We choose positivity every day.
Right.
Or we could choose violence.
Absolutely.
But we choose positive.
No, bars could choose violence. I'm 11 out of 5. So bars might choose violence. So you might want to tread lightly when you're dealing with bars.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to choose positivity, but I could choose violence. So.
But now bars.
Stay, in the positive light, working on stuff. Filling my distractions with.
Right. Productivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But enough about me, guys. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Once again, shout out to bars, and we gotta give a big wait before we introduce. I guess Tasho did. I guess you told me about your week. You started off strong.
Yeah,
we got that out the way. I just want to make sure we up to speed on everything.
Yeah, man. Everything's good, man.
From this point now, we gonna be talking about my man Chris. And this is my homie. We go back to I don't know if Isaiah listens to the podcast. We had this dope situation with Thank God Unfocused, and my man Isaiah, he was always like plugging people in. He just had this crazy network. Like, yo, you gotta meet this person, you gotta meet that person. I'm gonna draw this person. And one of the people that he talked about more than anybody was Chris Butts. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm tired of hearing about this dude, man. Just tell him to pull up. And then I think he pulled up to one of our Focus Experience events, and my man got a presence. He came in with the beard, and he always fresh to death, and like right now he fresh to death, man. This is my man Chris Butts. We got him in the building right now, man. What's good?
Man, what's going on, G? What's going on?
What up?
Happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me. And I've been anticipating this moment, man. G is one of the dopest individuals that I know, and I'm thankful that I was introduced to him. And thank God I'm focused through Isaiah, man. And I'm grateful for the opportunity, brother.
Man, I appreciate you being here. We talked about it. Honestly, I want to say when we first started talking about the podcast, you probably was one of the first people I talked to about it.
Yeah.
And, timing is everything.
Absolutely.
We finally got you up here.
Facts.
Finally got my man up here. And how you feeling, man? How's your we normally record on Mondays. Sometimes we do Wednesdays, but we call it Money Making Mondays. So
okay.
How did your Money Making Monday start off?
Man, it started off, I kind of slept in this Monday. I'm not gonna lie, man. This Christmas break for us. I'm an educator by background, profession.
Dope.
And so I was, I was hitting the snooze button today.
Okay.
But I hit the ground running though. So it was holiday time, and we've been doing some Santa photos with the kids and everything like that. I actually did some at my school. And right now we just doing them outside with a partner of mine at their brick and mortar. And so we taking on some parents and some families and everything, taking holiday pictures with the kids. So I was out there at the daycares, man, rubbing elbows, and calling,
kissing babies,
kissing babies. I'm Santa. I'm Black Santa. You know what I'm saying? So
he got the beard. He got the Santa Claus beard.
That's what's up, yo.
Yo, that's my man Chris, man. So. Tell the people. So you in education, in what capacity? What all do you do within the educational field?
Man, so I've been in education for about a decade when you tally it all up. My background is in the special ed department. I've always worked with exceptional needs. Even before I got into education, just with exceptional adults with exceptional needs back in New York, where I'm from, and it kind of just.
Wait, what part of New York, man? Tell the people.
From Strong Island, man. You know what I'm saying? Strong Island. Don't get it twisted. Strong Island.
I was just in New York. I'm from Queens, but my pops just recently moved to Strong Island.
Okay.
So I was out there not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And New York all day. You see the hat, you see the gear, man.
Repping.
You know, and you repping with the gear, man.
Yeah.
Ain't too many people in the South rocking them Timbs like that.
Macaronis, you know.
Yeah. So, what made you get into the special needs? Like, what made you go into that specifically?
Man, I'd have to go back to after I graduated high school, man. That's honestly where I'm from. That was one of the jobs that people typically took on after graduating high school. It paid the most. And here this is going to tell my age a little bit. It was $10 an hour that they was paying at the time in 05. But that was good money coming out of high school.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
2005, $10 an hour. You
was winning.
He was winning. I'm home. I'm not really paying bills. You know, my parents aren't hit me in the head for rent and everything like that. I got a phone bill. You know, I got a car.
Good.
I was good.
Living it up.
He was good.
And is that the way to go? Just a sidebar. Is that the way to go as a parent? Like,
in what capacity?
Just don't be hitting them over the head for rent. Because you know, some parents are just like, when you turn 18, you get up out of here. The other extremity is what you talking about.
So my take on that's a great question. I believe that not initially, but there needs to come a point to, all right, once you fresh out of high school, okay, I'm gonna give you a little grace period. Boom. Once it gets to past that grace period, there's a point in time where you gonna contribute. You know what I'm saying? And I was actually listening to what's my man name? Man, I can't think of his name right now. What's my man name? Oh my gosh!
What's the year?
I can't.
What's the range? 2 years, 1 year?
Nah, I don't even think a year.
5 years?
Wait. So we're talking about after high school contributing to the household?
Absolutely. If you're living it, okay, I say a year the max. And after that year, if you especially if you don't have a plan, you contributing, because now I got to help you structure your plan. Because you too young to figure it out on your own. So let me help you structure, because this is how real life is going to happen. I think that we coddle in our community too much. We coddle our kids with gifts and material things, and we don't get them prepared for life. Like, you can't always hold their hand and everything.
That's a fact.
You got to let life hit them. Life is going to hit them when you're not there. You get what I'm saying? And Dave Ramsey is his name. So I listen to Dave Ramsey in the morning. And it was a guest who called on, and they said that their child, they had same situation.
That's how I know you cool, Isaiah, man. He used to always talk about Dave Ramsey.
Man, Dave Ramsey is that guy, though. And so they had the child that graduated, and they had been charging them, rent and everything like that, but they weren't putting it towards the actual rent. They were putting it in the fund, in the little bank account. And so the dad and the mom were debating on whether they should actually give it to the kid, or whether they should choose what to do with it. Basically, like, hey, what are we gonna do with it? We're gonna put this towards a business, or we're gonna have some type of put it toward a down payment for a car or for a home for rent. And the dad, I think, wanted to give it to them and let them spend it, but the mom wanted to I don't trust that. We're gonna allocate these funds, and we're gonna figure out where they going and what they going towards. So I say all that to say, like, I'm definitely with contributor. Contributor.
Yeah, I actually had this kind of strategy. I don't have kids, but I guess it's easy to say it when you don't have kids, but my strategy is, the black community, they always so quick to kick their kids out. You turn 18, you graduate high school, you out of here. But I feel like it's a lot of other cultures that don't have that mentality that's winning.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, you should contribute a year after high school, 2 years, but at the end of the day, it's like, you don't have to leave. And it's going to actually make the family stronger. You don't have to leave. You could actually, just doing simple math, if your child graduates from high school, 17, 18, they get a little, maybe they making $10 an hour, like you was talking about. $10 an hour, and they putting in hours, 40 hours, 30, 40 hours a week. They do that for about 5-6 years. Because you got to think, like, you still young when you turn 23, 24. You still don't really know what's going on.
Absolutely.
So just imagine having that buffer zone, which most black kids I feel like don't have. If you had that buffer zone from 17 to 23, 24,
25, even 25,
to make $10 an hour and just you contributing to the household, but
save your money.
You also saving too.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're gonna have enough money to get a new car without financing it. And you're going to be able to get a house as well.
A smoother head start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's me. With the boys, y'all see them. Y'all know what time it is. They are really just... And for me, they don't got to go nowhere.
Right.
And I mean, as far as contributing, they got phones now that I pay, but they could pay that bill. Like you said, you got a phone bill, but I'm not with... I ain't with it.
It makes sense though.
But the way they are, they into coding. They could be out of high school making whatever.
Oh yeah, Bars kids is smart. They ahead of the curve.
Out of high school and be set for life. So I just give them the wheel. I try to support everything, buy them what they need to fuel that dream. But yeah, it's like let your kids be free, like you wanted to. That plan A is plan A is plan A goes plan A.
I agree with what both of you are saying. I think it's very valid. My whole point about the contribution is, and I look back on my experience, and my mom used to, she had an open line of credit for me, so she would pay on my credit card, put things in my name and stuff like that, but she was building my credit. But my mom wasn't the best communicator verbally. So I'm like, Mom, what is all of this? What are these things that you're doing? She knows why she's doing it.
Yeah, see, I was in that same boat.
You know what I'm saying? But
in that same boat.
She never communicated to me what it was for. And so I think with the contribution to the bills and like, okay, I need you to feel this and I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna map out, look, these are the bills to the house. So this is what you're contributing to. And I feel like what my mom did with those credit cards, if it would have been a communication in addition to it, my mindset would have been different. I'm understanding now.
Crazy.
Man, okay. This is why you opening credit lines for me. This is why you helping me build my credit, because I'm going to need my credit at 35 to close on the house. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to kick you out by all means. I think that the heart is in the right place with the people in our community, with our people. It's just not, we're not the process and
the communication barrier.
Yeah,
that's a major.
It's not
a major mishap.
Effective.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Tell them why you're doing this.
Right.
Don't just, baby, you can stay here and then no. Why are you allowing them to stay here? This is why I'm allowing you to stay here, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Because you know what I'm saying? X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, because my pops did the same thing. I didn't understand it when I was a kid, but he put out he created a credit line, and once I went to college, I saw like, oh, okay, I got a credit card in my name, whatever, and it sounds good, but I was good on it for like a good period of time. Like I was very responsible. I opened up this and that, and I paid off this and that, and overall, I'm a very responsible person when it comes to money, but I could have learned so much more if I, had that open line of communication. Like, all right, this is the plan. This is why we doing it. Because it put me in a good space, but then I fucked all that up at a point in time, and I had to climb back up, but if I just understood, like when he had the idea, like this is what I want to do, I should have been a part of that conversation.
Absolutely.
And then my mind would have been so thinking about it totally differently, because I'm just like, oh, he has a plan, and now I'm a part of the plan, not just like it just got
this
like
is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
do this.
Parents,
no, we're not.
I feel like they spend so much of their time like struggling to get out of their or whatever, and then the communication barrier, like he was saying, like it's I feel like they are not able to multitask all the time, our parents. So they busy doing this.
Yeah, I know that's the thing.
Express themselves.
That's the thing. You working so much and you got this plan. Boom, boom. I do this. I do that. And you like, damn, I didn't even tell him what the plan
is.
Yeah,
I can respect that. I think that's valid.
Yeah.
That's the generation of because I said so.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. That is exactly.
And they're not going to explain that to you.
Yeah. That's exactly what I grew up on. And I would ask my mom. I'm like, Mom, why? And it was because I said so. And so that resonated with me as like I just want to be rebellious now. I don't even want to listen because even though you out for my best interest, it's for me. I don't understand it. So I'm just like, man, my mom just being mean and I don't get it. Right. And so that $500 credit limit I got, I done ran it up. I'm over the limit. $850 in. I don't even know how you do that on a $500 credit card. But you know what I'm saying? It's the communication. And to your point, boss, yes, we are not our parents, but I think in this generation now, we are so it's a coddling feeling, but also we so worried about social media and everything now. You got your kids on communicating with your kid, you distracted.
Yeah.
We're more communicated. The communication is there now, and we're more empathetic and loving, but you ain't communicating the effective things of what you're supposed to be talking to them about. You worried about going viral. You worried about this, getting the likes and all of that. In my opinion.
Technology has been a gift and a curse for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely been a gift and a curse because you can utilize it for the right things. It works out in your favor tremendously. But when you utilize it for the wrong things, it takes you down a destructive rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And social media plays a big part on people's mental health, on their
absolutely
processing. My kids, they have like TikTok for their crafts.
Right.
Like they gifts. One is in the animation, the other is editing, but they can't be, like you gotta control that aspect of them.
How do you control it?
Set your boundaries, y'all.
I
don't even want to say because it's invasive to me.
But I mean, like, what about when you're not
invasive?
But what about when you're not around? When you're not around, like, what do you?
You can feel that way.
They got.
Because they people, they still little.
They
people.
kids though. I don't think there's a such thing as being too invasive, especially at a certain age limit. I'm sorry. I hate to kind of butt in, but like I'm in education. I'm seeing K-2 kids with cell phones.
Yeah.
Why? Why do kids in kindergarten need a cell phone? Why do kids in second grade need a cell phone? That's not valid to me.
Right.
That's not valid to me. You need a cell phone
not in school.
Not in school. You need a cell phone when you are in middle school. That's debatable. And then I've even gotten parents who their kids aren't getting cell phones until 9th grade.
I ain't get my
I think
18, but my kids have cell phones strictly for communication with their father because I won't.
But it don't go to school, right?
I think it's tough as a parent to avoid that because I see it all the time. Like, just being in public places, we've all seen it. Like, that's a way for a parent to.
The kid.
Keep their kid in order. Like their kids start crying, they just hand them their phone and put like some YouTube Dora the Explorer video on or something, and then next you know the kid, so they already that's the new pacifier. I don't even know if I see pacifiers no more. Do they even sell pacifiers?
Real talk. He might be on to something.
Hey, let me intervene real quick, bro. I want to say, brother, I salute you, man, because there's not too many men in the education field, first and foremost, let alone black men. And that's a big deal, bro. Like, I feel as if when it comes to education, that's the most important job on this planet. Like, you all have the abilities to mold and shape the minds of young people to become productive citizens of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember just being a student, my teachers having the ability to raise me up or to bring me down just based on how they treated me. Mm-hmm. So I salute you for being in that field, bro. You're much needed out here, and keep doing what you do, man, because you're vital out here and you're the last of a dying breed, man. It's not too many brothers in education, and we need more like you out there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nah, that's a dope path to take. A lot of people ain't trying to do that. they about themselves, and you know they want to be influencers.
It's nasty, man. It's nasty out here, man.
They want to be Instagram influencers. You know, they not thinking about the younger generations and passing the baton, and you know that's needed. Like Tastro said, it's needed on the major level, especially from, you know, the Black Kings. You know, it's a lot of like we've seen it with Winston-Salem State. You know, okay, this white lady's a teacher at she's a teacher at a HBCU, and got into it with a student who I think had actually just graduated. You know, you gotta finish out your semester even when you graduated. You know, you got your diploma and all that, but I don't know what happened. But she got into it with this white teacher. The teacher was tripping. She called the police, and the student got arrested
in the classroom. I saw that.
Yeah.
That's crazy though.
That was
wild. It's crazy.
You ain't never gonna see that happen in the white community. I'm sorry. I hate that because that triggers me, man. And it's like, if you don't know how to work with a certain demographic of people, you shouldn't be hired to work.
That's
with
what I'm saying.
At all.
But I feel like, you know, they gotta fill those spots. They get these resumes in, they get these applications in, and it's like, damn, we don't got enough Black kings. We don't got enough Black queens. So we gotta hire Karen. You know, it's like
not a Karen.
They literally hired a Karen to be a teacher at a HBCU, and that don't even make no sense.
Classroom full of Black students.
That's crazy.
No, people, again, relationships, friendships, even family shifts. You meet people representative.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably went in there like,
should have been some type of screening process though. You still should have some type of screening process. Like,
my granddaughter's Black.
Nah, that's not good enough.
No,
that's not good enough. They fill in the numbers, like G said. They just fill in the numbers. You know what? Oh, we brought her in. She looked good. Resume was good. We'll put her in. She fills the stats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't due diligence done there. Look.
She there for a check, man.
You need to know the demographic of people that you work with.
Yeah.
And I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the details of it. I know people. I know somebody that knows her that kind of spoke on her name, like she's a good person. You know, I can't believe this happened to her, type of thing. You know, but even without that, I just don't see that scenario happening with a Black king in there. A Black, like, it's no way. Like we're gonna have to step into the hallway.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about this. You're not gonna call the police.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme, man.
Gee, this is a good segue, man. I had a conversation with a coworker of mine who worked at a Jewish school, right? And he's a Black man. He's a Black man.
I ain't trying to talk about the Jews, man. They talking about
no.
With this,
he talked about man, like the kids, they took a liking to him, and we influence everything. We influence everything, and so they were so intrigued with, you know, oh man, what part of Atlanta do you live in? Oh man, you're in College Park. Like, man, I've never been to College Park. Like, what's College Park like? You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, they're intrigued. Like, 15, 20 minutes away in Atlanta, but the experience and the life that they live is
completely
nothing
different.
like the kids that I teach and see on a daily basis. He was telling me that these kids in 5th, 4th, 6th grade bar mitzvahs, they're getting $15,000, $10,000. The next 10 to 15 years of their life is already planned out. And with the demographic of kids I work with off of MLK, they worried about what they're going to eat tonight.
Yeah.
They worried about where they're going to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
So it's a different struggle.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's a different type of experience. And that was profound to me, because it's like, man, that explains why we're so behind. And how does that kid, and how do those two kids have an even start? They don't.
I don't know.
They don't.
Literature that speak about what you're speaking on, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and A Tale of Two Cities.
I need to say, I heard of that one, but I gotta.
I heard of A Tale of Two Cities.
Me too.
A Tale of Two Cities is this thick. As thick as Moby. Well,
man, bars always be in the gutter. Why can't you?
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna cop that book. Nah, seriously.
Tale of Two Cities. I gotta get that.
Bars.
I gotta get that.
Dropping inappropriate bars.
Rich Dad,
For that, yeah.
And A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
Both of them are long reads, and
Y'all got rich dad, poor dad.
Being in the same city on two different sides, or the same street next door, right next door. Rich dad, poor dad takes place right next door.
Right.
And I have the poor dad, and
you
this
got
the
the rich dad.
Yep.
Yep.
They both teach me different things about success and failure.
Yep.
And you do learn about failure from the rich dad too. I mean, you.
Yep.
It's just they both good reads. But the question was, how did you get into exceptional needs teaching?
Bars. What are we looking like?
Oh yeah, that just went out though.
But yeah, we started talking about the Jews. I didn't know we was gonna go with that. I'm like, man, they about to cancel our sponsorships. They gonna block us on Spotify and Apple.
My bad, man. No disrespect.
Nah, it's all good.
No, you spoke all positivity. We there's nothing that can be twisted in what was said.
But that was honest though. Like that, I believe that because I work for a Jewish community, so I completely understand where he's coming from as far as that's concerned. Like, money's not an issue for that community whatsoever. So I can understand how they're set 10, 15 years in advance, just because of how they really work together. That's the main thing. The main thing that I see is they work together. Ultimately, I don't think we work together, man. Like it's one of those things where we may be working together, but in the back of our minds, we feel as if somebody's trying to do something on a snake level towards us in the process. And I think that's what kind of keeps us at guard no matter what. No matter that we're working together, but you still in the back of your mind have it that somebody's going to try to cross you somehow, some way, when it seems as if these other communities don't move like that. They move with the trust of knowing this person has my back just like I got theirs. And they just come together.
So how much do y'all feel like that impacts just because they saying black men and just like the black community and mental health is just going like sky high, like the suicide rates, like we just found out old dude from the Ellen show committed suicide, you know, and that's been like a major topic right now. How much does that impact, you know, just your mental health? Like we all black kings right here. You know, we got a black queen as well, so we get different perspectives. Like, you know, it's like you got the Jewish community, they get the $10,000 at the bar mitzvah, and then we got the black kid who, you know, he might get a Chuck E. Cheese party or something. You know, he might get a car. You know, it's like you be nervous as hell opening up your car. Like you open it, you know what I'm saying? You know, you open the car, you pop it open, and be like, damn, that shit empty as hell.
You gotta be optimistic though, because this is how I look at it personally. Like I grew up with nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I was me and my mom was sleeping in cars at one point. We lived in a homeless shelter in Jersey. You feel what I'm saying? Like shit was rough. But what it did for me personally, it gave me a drive to go harder and make something of myself. You get what I'm saying? So you just got to look at it as a positive. Like for me, not having nothing influenced my drive, made me more determined, made me more ambitious.
But I get that, you know, because think about it. The dude from the Ellen show, I'm sure he went through some type of shortcomings. You know, I don't know his story, but he was able to get to a level where he's like known as the Twitch guy. He's the DJ on the Ellen show, and he rose above whatever he came from, and he reached a certain level of success that a lot of people strive for. And you know, he still committed suicide. So it's like, yeah, you might rise above that, but it's just like that you know, those beginnings, like those humble beginnings. You know, it's like you come up through life and you got that bar mitzvah getting the 10 racks. I don't know. It's a certain, certain peace of mind that you have knowing that you even have those resources.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying as far as that's concerned. Like, as for me personally, right? I feel as if my hardest days, real talk, to this day, I'm about to be 39 years old, bro. But I feel like my hardest days were when I was a child.
Hit you with the Kevin Hart joint. Damn.
Nah, for real. Like, I'm talking about like my hardest days. I feel like when I was a kid, yo. Like, there's nothing that happens in life as an adult that has me at my core shook up, or I don't know what I'm gonna do next or whatever. Because when I was a child, there was things that I couldn't control, that I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen to me, and somehow, some way, I was able to persevere through it. And those were some of the hardest times of my life. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, I guess the programming is rather different. I can't, speak on why people do something in that regard as far as wanting to take their own lives or whatnot. And I'm definitely sympathetic to the whole situation. However, for me, just how I'm programmed, I can't imagine wanting to take my own life just based on what I went through all my life. You get what I'm saying? When you go through certain things, man, like they say pressure makes diamonds, or you fold up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as if when you go through certain things and you come out unscathed, that ultimately builds your character. Adversity builds character. And so for me, there's nothing that can occur to this point in time in life that I feel like I can't overcome, just based on what I had to overcome as a child when I was helpless, when I wasn't as strong as I was now. When I didn't have the will that I have now as an adult. You see what I'm saying? You're at the mercy of these adults when you're a child. That's why I was just giving salute to my man as far as being in education, because you are at the mercy of the adults around you when you're a child. And if you don't have the right adults around you, that could really
make or break you, for
exactly.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying as far as, not having that cushion starting off as far as, 10 racks or whatever the case may be. But however, I feel like at the same time, with you not having that gives drive to a lot of people. There's a lot of successful people out here that started from humble beginnings, that didn't have anything. But because they didn't have anything, that drove them to get something. You know what I'm saying?
I guess what I'm thinking like a race, like I had this homie from Greensboro, my man Mike Clark. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's like big, probably one of the biggest entrepreneurs in Greensboro right now. I came up under him when he was like early on maybe, but he called himself the marathon man. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking about what you're saying, and it's just like, the Jewish kid with the bar mitzvah, he's running the marathon. He's jogging, he got energy to go all day, but then it's like you got the black kid, like you got to go so hard at a certain point in your life, at least I'm speaking from my own perspective.
Right.
It's just like you might be jogging and you like, oh shit, this ain't working. My credit fucked up. Like I just got fired. Like I can't be jogging.
It's different struggles. It's different struggles.
Yeah.
The struggle of one is not going to be anything near the struggle of another. And to my man's point, I think he raises a valid point. But I'm with G, is because that man, when we talk about Twitch, the gentleman Twitch who took his life. Yeah, he obviously overcame. Mm-hmm. He made it to a certain point. Right. But here's another thing too. How many black men do you know have an outlet to somebody where they can just vent and talk about anything that's going on?
You're right.
So this man is the head of the household. Mm-hmm. He's got a family to take care of. He's got a wife that's looking to him. Right. He's got kids that's looking to him. And he's got God knows who else looking to him in his family.
Right.
Who's his outlet?
You're right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to be like on the outside looking in, like, man, I wouldn't take my own life personally.
Right.
I wouldn't. But I can't be like, man, like, I don't know what struggles that man was going through.
This is true.
And you know what I'm saying?
And therapy, I feel like, is something that I'm glad it's become a more of a bigger topic within our community. But we definitely need to stretch it out more as far as black men going to seek therapy.
And it being okay.
Yeah, because we need it, man. Because, I mean, a lot of people are traumatized as children and are still fighting those battles and those demons from when they were a child.
True. Black women. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all hear these men? Do y'all hear these men? I'm getting mad if I start talking, all right? Because y'all shouldn't have to ask that question. It bothers me.
That is be okay as far as
that question bothers me. Who does this man vent to? What, like? So you mean to tell me you have somebody with you and you can't vent to this person? Mm-hmm. And I understand why. Women are emotional. We are less logical. We are reactive. We are less understanding and accepting. We are judgmental a lot of times instead of accountable. But black women, do y'all hear these men though? That's all I wanna like. I'm a good friend. I have, like you were saying, I send affirmations. My friends need to talk to me. They can call and talk to me. I'm gonna give you the most neutral, truthful answer to your question that I could come up with as a woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they hear y'all. that really.
Yeah, that question makes me sad. We all need an outlet. Black kings, queens, you know, and I don't know. I just from my experience, the black queens, they mostly have their circles, and you know they talk to their homegirls,
sister circles.
Girls, guess what just happened? You know, but you know, guys, it's not always the same. I'm fortunate, you know. I got a pretty dope circle that I could tap into, you know. But like I was saying, it's like the marathon versus the race. It's like you got the bar mitzvah. I keep talking about it. The bar mitzvah dude, he got 10 racks. He could jog it up all day. He's good, you know, but you're going to have to put it into another gear at some point, you know, from my experience. And it sounds like all of us, you know, you had to put it into another gear at some point to really, you know, rise above whatever obstacles you had at some point. And then it's like, yeah, even when you get to that level of success that you were striving for, you might be a little winded at that point in time.
I mean, but
you know, it's like, all right, I'm here, I done climbed the mountain, but it's just like, damn, I'm tired as hell. And then don't let you not have that outlet to be like, man, it was hard as hell climbing up that mountain, and you know, not everybody throwing their problems and stuff on you, and it really don't get no easier.
Right.
So it's just it's tough, you know. I would never take my own life, you know, but life definitely gets life definitely gets stressful,
right?
You know, but the crazy thing, I've heard a lot of people that's related to people that have taken their lives, and they like, you know, they'll admit that it was a selfish act. You know, it's like, damn, you know, like the Twitch dude, he got like a kid, he got kids, he got a wife, he got a family, you know, but it's like, how do you put that judgment on them? Like, is it selfish, or I don't know, you know? It's like, how do you really, I would never tell somebody that, you know, obviously you can't tell them they gone, but it's just like, I would never put that on somebody like, man, I was selfish. I've heard that more so from like kids. Like I was talking to this dude recently, his father took his life, and he was just like, man, I was selfish. He left me and my siblings and his wife and all that. But it's just like, I just feel like, you know, people kind of just look at it. I don't know. My perspective is everybody's different. Everybody's wired differently. You know, just like you deal with special needs children, like you might have a child that comes up and they might be the star of the basketball team, and you know, they get all the ladies and they're the most popular, they're the freshest. But then you got the kid that they're not as socially, you know, they socially awkward. Maybe they got a speech impediment, and you know, everybody's just wired differently. And I don't know.
And it ain't about you at that point when they taking their life. It's about them.
Yeah, it's about them, and you just never know. It's like you really can't put that label on them. Like, oh man, he was being selfish. He left all these people behind. But as much as he was smiling and dancing and, you know, had this level of success,
he was going through something.
Yeah,
he was going through something.
Something wasn't right. You know, whatever you dealt with and overcame, and the stress that you deal with, you dealt with it. But not everybody's just so different. You know, it's like, but
there's a urban legend, not saying it's fake, but it's true. I know it to be true. But there was a young lady who lost her life in my neighborhood. And I think not 3 weeks to a month later, her guy actually took his life. And that was just, if that was his whole world, do you know what I'm saying? What can you say? If he lived for her, do you know what I'm saying? Or losing a child, like, I don't know where I would be mentally. So different things impact different people. I feel like, and we gotta be okay with letting people be the protagonist in their story and letting their movie end when they're finished writing it. You know what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate and sad. However, we gotta show them grace, because sometimes we too distracted to even notice that.
Yeah.
Just like what you said, who do black men vent to? Who do we talk to? Like, if you so overwhelmed like that, you know. Again, me, I sometimes choose violence. Like, I'm letting you know, but seriously.
Damn, not violence.
What me? I'm
Far's got a couple bodies.
But you gotta.
I don't want to incriminate nobody.
Oh, God,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Because I don't know what bars got going on.
No, me, because some of our minds don't think this way and things that way. Like me, I would rather be sad than angry. You know what I'm saying? Because I can deal with sad, but when I'm angry, it's just another person. It takes me back to a place where before I had the knowledge to raise my kids. Just like you said, a lot of people don't talk to their kids because they don't know how. And when I had my kids, I knew I was going to be different. Home ownership and entrepreneurship. And they be coming here sometimes and working these cameras and stuff like that, because I want them to know, if you want to be into entertainment, I'm going to try to put you around the people. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you wanted to go to the military, I would have to, it's just like, feed into them, feed into the people around you. But if you can't, don't fake like you can't, because people need good people around them, and you taking up space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of people taking up space. What is about?
I think Bars was on this, so she had a great point. Like, from what I took from what you just said is like we gotta be the change that we want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we also need to notice those signs and be more positive, compliment each other, smile. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to engage with one another, have a conversation, take a genuine interest in people. Kevin Gates said something on the podcast which was crazy to me. I never knew this. He was saying he was about to go commit suicide and take his own life. Damn. He said he was on his way to do it. Like he already had the card, the letter written out, everything. He had everything set up. He was on his way to the car, and a random dude stopped him and said, "Hey, yo, man," like broke down crying. Yo, your music changed my life, bro. Like I in whatever capacity it did. But he said at that exact moment, this man had the gun loaded and all of that, about to go off himself.
That's crazy.
So being that change that you want to see in the world, like we got to get out of our own way and take ourselves out of our own situation, and be that presence, because it's not about you. And you don't know who needs to hear something that you have to say to them, that positive affirmation, that compliment, or that whatever that word is that you say to them, that might alter what they were about to do if it's something negative, and project them to where they were destined to go, or supposed to be in the first place. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something. I was listening to this audiobook, and they talk about like creating your own reality and creating this positive environment for yourself, and they spoke on that specifically. They was like, They spoke on that specifically. If you want to, because you might see somebody out and about and they got this guard up, but you don't know what they got going on. You might look at them like, oh man, they might be a threat, or wherever your mind might go. But the best way that you could create your own reality is when you approach people or you come across people, is compliment them, say something nice about them, and like, I guarantee you that'll change your whole world. If you feel like, people are mean, or people are this, people are that, you got this negative outlook. One of the best things that you could change, you could make a major impact on how positive your life is by just complimenting people and saying nice things to other people. In the black community, that's not really a thing. It's all about like, look at this nigga, man. He looking mad crazy with got two colors in his bed. Like, what you Santa Claus or something?
I don't know, women got compliments down to a science, women, it's all
nigga's stupid. Yeah,
he's stupid.
Women compliment you by walking past saying what you got on that they like. They be like, okay, shirt or shoes or hey, polka dots or all right, they.
Women could be
more
yeah
willing to compliment and love on each other because I don't know, strange things happens in those bathrooms. In the clubs, and I don't mean like.
Oh, I didn't know where you was going with that.
Girls be taking pictures.
What y'all be doing in the bathrooms?
Yeah, y'all
Girls
be deep.
take pictures. Girls like exchange Instagrams with girls that they later.
Yeah, niggas ain't doing all that. Niggas not doing all that, yo.
Yeah.
Niggas not doing all that in the bathroom.
Hey yo,
look at this corny ass.
Nah, son, we not doing all that in the bathroom, yo.
Corny ass nigga in the bathroom asking me for my IG.
Yo, what the fuck this nigga asking me for my IG for, yo?
Looking like Santa Claus.
Weirdo ass nigga. Like,
hey, yo.
This is the first thing you thinking, man.
Yeah, we gotta change that, man. Show love to the kings and the queens, man.
I mean, so you in the bathroom, G? Somebody stop and ask for your IG, you stopping and giving it to him?
I mean, I'm in a different space where I guess I'm kind of used to those conversations. But I don't think the average dude in the bathroom is going to really be about that,
yeah.
I mean, it's all in different contexts. Like, why are you asking me for my IG? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we just got to be more positive and welcoming and compliment and just more positive.
Sending more positive energy out, man.
More
Sending
positive
more love and light
energy
to everybody that you come across.
You never know what somebody dealing with. You never know. Like you said, you told a story about Kevin Gates. Like, you never know the impact you can have on somebody's day. I'm talking about. It could be these little kids nowadays. They be rolling around with the Pooh Shiesty masks. These kids be having a guard up. They be just ready. They want all the smoke. Like. Most times they probably do got some J's on or something. Like, yo, them J's fresh as, them J's fresh as hell. Or like, yo, where you get your Pooh Shiesty mask from, bro? Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, but people they be having so much of a guard up. And I mean, I grew up in that lifestyle, that world where, and I think it's a everywhere thing. Like, I know people did it in the South and the North. You gonna get joked on at some point in your school career from elementary all the way up to probably college, like just that whole time, and that's why these kids, they put the mask on, they, not literally, but they put the mask on by wearing designer stuff and
covering it up,
wearing Jordans and, trying to look cool, trying not to look like a victim, because if you back in the day, if you came in, I guess FUBU, they didn't kind of clean their name up a little bit, but it was a point in time, if you came to school with some FUBU on, you was gonna get ragged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yo, my parents paid their hard-earned money for these sneakers, man. Leave me alone.
Your champions is shit, though.
Champion came back, all the way back. Y'all, I know y'all, that's the hustle right there, okay?
Yeah, champion
has made
Yeah, because it used to be super cheap. Yeah, Champion used to be real cheap.
Man,
now that shit
nothing
is like
cheap
mad
no more.
expensive now.
Everything expensive.
Yeah.
I saw some Reebok Classics for $85. I was like, what?
Oh damn!
Wow.
Classics.
So that
camera pretty much done.
nah, but that camera it's got a memory card in there, so when it goes out, it's gonna switch over.
Oh, it's gonna switch over?
Yeah,
I gotta press.
yeah, it should.
Bragging on his equipment and stuff. You know, I got it. I took care of it. Don't worry.
It'll just transfer over. You know, it's some extra memory on it. You know, it'll get spill over to the other joint.
Upgraded, you know, like Castro needs to do with his phone. You know?
Yeah, here she go.
Not the phone
Yo,
again.
but she right though. Yo, I'm due. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let her have that. I'm gonna let her have that. I'm gonna let her have that. I'm gonna let her have that, yo. She right. I'm gonna let her have that.
So this was a dope episode. Is anything else y'all want to put out there? Like, well, actually, we got to talk about your nonprofit real quick. Let's put that out there so they can really tune in, because you're in the educational field, but you got some stuff going on outside of the school system too. You know.
Can The answer, how you got into... Because I've been waiting the whole episode to figure out how he got into...
special needs?
Yes.
It was through the job in New York. I said I started working with adults. And then it transitioned over here. I came down to Georgia for grad school. And I actually, I played lacrosse and coached lacrosse too. At the high school lacrosse. Yeah,
snap.
That's big on Long Island, actually, like huge on Long Island. And it's a Native American sport. Everybody thinks that it's a rich person sport, but it's actually a Native American sport. That's where it originated from. And so when I
always seen you as like a ball player, so I
hooped in high school. Football was really my first love, and then I was just basketball. I played basketball. My brother was a better basketball player than me. Hooping was his number one thing, but football was my thing. And then lacrosse, I just ended up falling into that. Given the circumstances, my coach, my PE coach, got me into that. He was an African American. He brought the sport to Long Island and to Riverhead, and actually put a lot of kids in the college, man. So, and long story short, so when I from grad school, I got the paraprofessional position over at the high school where I was coaching lacrosse at, and that's how I really got introduced to the working with exceptional needs in the education realm.
So real quick, how can we tap into the Calvin Butts Memorial Foundation? How can we tap into that?
We on Instagram, Calvin Butts MS on Instagram, and then we're the Calvin Butts Memorial Scholarship on Facebook. We're actually having a launch party coming up December 27th at Cafe Social House over in Smyrna, which is a black-owned cafe over there. So if y'all want to tap in, man, check us on Eventbrite. The links will be up. It's a free event. Come out. We'll be launching a website highlighting some of these past recipients and what they're doing. We actually plan to have one of our past recipients in Georgia come out and speak, give her testimony. So it's going to be dope, man. Food, music, good times, good vibes,
Yeah, if I know anything about my man Chris, and when he's throwing an event, it's going to be lit. I'm talking about every event that I went to that you done through. He got the crazy network, whether it's people he tapped into through the nonprofit or the education system. He's connected. Like you say, he was naming all these different states, man. My man name ring bells. my man name ring bells. But yeah, so that was the foundation. How could they tap into you specifically?
I'm on Instagram as well. You can follow me at Cal Boogie, CalBoogie 1227. It's Cal Boogie 1227. That's my outlet on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook, Chris Butts, ChrisButts on Facebook. Chris Butts on Facebook. ChrisButts is my name on Facebook. You can tap into and connect with me on those platforms.
Word. So you know how we do at the end of the podcast. My man Tastro takes us out with some positive words, and what you got for us, man?
Man, this is just something to live by, man. Stay alert, stay alive, man. Like, stay alert, stay alive. Like I said before, like, it's something that I learned when I was in basic training. One of my drill sergeants, he used to always just like embed that in our heads: stay alert, stay alive. And I've lived by that saying ever since, man. I feel like the life you could save could very well be your own. So yeah, stay alert, stay alive.
Word.
I like that.
Well, shout out to everybody that's listening right now. Shout out to Tastro, Chris Butts, Bars, shout out to everybody. And we talked about a lot of different things, but the main thing we wanted to highlight was the mental health, so like we said, if you can make a change in somebody's day, just go ahead and do it, man. You ain't always got to be funny joking on somebody. Them jokes, you might get a laugh out of it, but sometimes it might cut in ways where you don't even realize it's cutting, and then just laugh it off and keep it moving. But you have a way better impact on somebody's day by saying something positive. And you could be funny and positive at the same time. I don't think people realize that sometimes. You could be funny and positive at the same time. But either way, just make a positive impact in somebody's life. You'll never know what it's going to do. You know, we just trying to, build people up and not break them down. But yeah, that's it. It's the Unfocused and Focused podcast. And we out of here.
Yeah.